Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in for our latest session of Tableau Buddy Talks. We're really excited to have you all here. So Tableau Buddy Talks, to give you a small brief about what it is, it was started basically to give a platform to all the new users, all the people who are really good at what they do, but have not been able to showcase it to the world on a bigger platform. So we're trying to give them a space to come and show and share with all of you what they know and what they have learned so far, and also to help them grow and be able to speak at biggest conferences like Tableau Fringe Festival and Tableau Conference in the future. It was basically started. We are right now we are a team of four people, four leaders who are right now, behind the scenes running the entire Tableau with the user group. First of all, we have Prasan, who recently became a Tableau social ambassador and also is a Tableau featured author. And he's currently working as a product engineer at Amex. He is the one who founded the Tableau Buddy program, and what he thinks that the more he shares, the more he learns. And he's also a data geek who loves to talk about data, which we all can, see if we see his LinkedIn sometime. And he's a big fan of anime and food. Second, it's me. I am also a Tableau social ambassador, and I'm currently working as a data visualization engineer at the Expedia Group. I also have a blog page where I sometimes share tips and tricks on topics which I learn while working. And you can connect with me on any of my social media handles. Next up, we have Anshula. Welcome, Anshula. It's her first session with us. She recently joined our team and also became a Tableau social ambassador this year. She is a data visualization expert at Zoom, and she has an amazing YouTube channel, Techie and Chief, where she constantly really shares a lot of great stuff on Tableau. So you should go and check it out. And lastly, we have Avinash, whose business has been selected as a Viz of the Day 2 times by Tableau already. And he's also a senior BI developer at Optum. And he also has a blog page, and he also shares great tips and Tableau visits on his Tableau public profile. So do check it out, guys. You can connect with all of us on our social media handles, which have been shared here. So today, basically, we have a different kind of user group where we'll have a panel discussion with 3 great panelists, where we'll talk about everything you need to know to enter or to enhance your career in the field of data analytics and science. So first of all, we have Mohit Maheshwari, who is currently a Tableau student ambassador. Then we have Arpit, who right now is a specialist in data analytics at Sun Life. And lastly, we have Siddhanth, who is a sales analytics CEO lead at RedHat. So welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. So, it was a very small introduction from my part. So I would really like to have them come up and talk a bit more about themselves and their experiences and the kind of work they regularly do. So let's start with Arpit.
Yeah, hey Vani, hi. Thanks. It's a pleasure being here. Hi everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for joining this session. So my name is Arpit Sarkar, and I am currently, as Vani said, I am currently working in Sun Life, Gurgaon, as specialist in data analytics. So majorly my work profile revolves around data visualization, the backend work, and client interactions. So I have a total experience of 5.5 years, which is like 5.5 years. And I started out initially in Accenture. And so the initial part of my career, I spent as an STET, which is a software development engineer in test. So I was a test automation engineer. And my job was mainly writing Java code to automate web and mobile application for testing. And it was a good job. For a while I was pretty happy, but then I came to know about data visualization through some of my friends who had gone overseas to study business analytics, and I saw that they were doing all of this work in Tableau, in SQL, and that caught my attention. And I thought, this is pretty cool. So I started learning the tool. I started getting feedback, And finally, I landed the role that I was targeting. So I can definitely uh, identify with a lot of your aspirations, because I was in your position a few years ago. So, and after I landed like this role, this data visualization role, there was no looking back. I think it was a great decision, and I've never regretted a day. uh, I've worked on a variety of different analytics projects, such as marketing, digital marketing, IT operations, business excellence, asset management, then finance, project management, and I never face a boring day at work. So I think that's pretty much about myself. Thanks. Back to you, Vani.
Wow. That's a lot you have already done in the last 2 years. So kudos on that. Uh, Next up, we have Mohit. Hi, Mohit.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much, Tableau Buddy Tuck, for this wonderful opportunity. I have been following your sessions for the past, and I'm really honored to be a panelist here. Hello everyone, I'm Mohit. I'm an economics undergraduate at Sri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce, University of Delhi. So I decided to choose economics as my major, but I think I was quick enough to realize that I need to acquire some other skills as well. That is when I started exploring. I started looking up on Twitter, on YouTube, on all the social media platforms to see what are the skills people are doing and what are the skills that industry leaders are actually talking about. And that is when I got to know about data analysis. And I used to see these two words, analyst and data, popping up a lot in a lot of job profiles. So that is what also something that drew me towards data. Then I started exploring the field, got to know about a certification by Google. So it was Google Data Analytics Professional Certification. I took that, took 3.5 months to complete that. That is when I got to know about Tableau. So then quickly looked up the data fam, got to know about the Tableau community, and I was sure I was going to join it. So applied for Tableau ambassador this year, and luckily, fortunately, got appointed as Tableau student ambassador for this year. I have experience of working as a summer intern at Willis Stars Watson. I worked in the work and rewards team there. Right now, I'm a data freelancer and constantly looking to develop my skills in SQL, Excel, and Tableau. So that is what I'm up to right now. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's quite a lot. Reminds me of my college days. Great. Lastly, we have Siddhanth. Hi, Siddhanth.
Hey, Vani, am I audible?
Yes.
All
yes,
right,
yes.
awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. And Tableau Buddy team, thank you for having us. Great intro, by the way, Vani. Thank you. And Arpit, Mohit, awesome intros and great profile. So I'll start with my current position. So as Vani mentioned, I work at RedHat as the Asia Pacific lead for sales operation analytics. I've been in RedHat for like 4 years now. Actually, in November it will be 4 years. And it's awesome. I work with Tableau, I work with data engineers, I work with data scientists, and it's been great. And Tableau has become a major part of work over here, actually profile over here. And I'm going to like go ahead and give some credentials for my thing so that you know the journey I've gone through. So I've done my master's from in management information systems. So I came into corporate world with SQL knowledge and everything for information systems, and that's where I started. So my profile has always been in analytics. I started with SAS in banking, and then when I moved away from banking, SAS is not affordable, so had to move to R, Python, and then we had Tableau. That's when in RedHat is where I was introduced to Tableau, and then I came to know about this community, Tableau community, that we always come across. But at that point, I did not realize how huge it is, right? So in 2020, exactly, COVID, right? That's when I started. That's when I saw Makeover Monday, and I got pulled into it. I have like 80 visualizations now. I participated in IMVis, IMQuest. I know everyone on this call because of that. Never met any one of them. So it's pretty good. It's like your own personal forum where you learn and you grow. So I've there's Makeover Monday, Real World Fake Data, IMQuest, IMVis, and so much more coming up now. So yeah. that's about it. And I'm glad to be here, and I hope this session helps many of you. And looking forward to this next few hours. Thank you, Ani.
Thank you so much, guys. It's so good to have all of you here with such varied experience. Looking forward to our discussion now.
Cool. So Mohit, it was great to hear from you about how you're preparing for, like we know that you are still graduating and, and you still have a great profile on Tableau, right? We all would agree that it takes a lot of effort to work in this field and be able to contribute to the community as well. Since you're preparing for these interviews right now, I'm sure you must be applying for some data roles. Would you like to share something with us and the team over here today about things that you're preparing for data roles currently?
Yeah, I would say that's very humble of you to say I have a really good Tableau profile, but I think I'm just a beginner in Tableau, to be honest. There are a lot of visits that I need to add to my Tableau public to be credible enough. So talking about preparations, I would say as far as I know this field and after listening to a number of industry leaders, everyone talks about having a combination of spreadsheets, SQL, one data visualization tool that could be Tableau, and then a programming language. So all in all, I would say this is really a really good combination for a data analyst. So about my preparations, I think my spreadsheets are good enough to move ahead. I would say Excel and spreadsheets are really underrated at the top level. They are highly used, but still very underrated and less talked about. But Excel and spreadsheets are really important. About SQL, I would say I'm intermediate level SQL. So I am learning SQL from Trendy Tech's playlist. They are free on YouTube. So people can use that to prepare. Coming to Tableau, I think this is why I love Tableau. They have their own e-learning platform. So there's everything, whether you want to be a data scientist, whether you want to be a data analyst. So they have the roadmap and paths defined. So I'm currently following the analyst roadmap for learning Tableau. And if I want to definitely expand my skill set, learning Python or R, that is a programming language, would be next on the list.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you're preparing apart from these technical skills? Anything else that you would like to share with everyone?
Yeah, so technical aspect is important, but that's only a part of the process. So if you're unable to make impact, or if the analysis that you have done is unable to create any impact or help the stakeholders make decisions, then that is of really no use, right? So I'm working on my presentation skills, and I'm also working on to be able to grasp what data, or what part of data, or what are the results that are really important for the stakeholders to make decisions, accurate decisions, so that the data can help make them take good decisions. So that is a really important part of that.
Awesome, Mohit. Arpit, I know that you have been now in the industry for a while, right? And I'm sure you're also taking interviews at your current firm. Do you think what Mohit is preparing as part of his interviews or for applying to data roles, is that enough? Or do you think for an entry-level data science resume or a data visualization resume, there's something more that should be added by the candidates?
Yeah, I would say Mohit is definitely on the right way. And he is one of the, so the thing is that there are many aspirants, but people actually, students are yet to, work as hard as Mohit, I would say. There are some additional things that I would like to, add. So basically, this again counts as the soft skills, right? Mohit has pretty much specified the technical roadmap. So if you are interested in pursuing data analytics or data visualization, business intelligence, first talk with a professional and get to know what happens in the day to day in the job, because what you might be seeing on LinkedIn, that you might find that attractive, but again, you need to know the complete picture. So just grab network with any professional, just get to know what they are doing. And again, it's very exciting. The data analyst job is very exciting. So I'm pretty sure you will also find that exciting, but you should get to know it. Again, a spreadsheet skills, whether you have Excel or Google Sheets, That's very important. Some of the basic concepts like a VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, etc., etc. Then we have the SQL, which is again one of the skills that I find that people don't really stress upon. So that is definitely an intermediate level of SQL skills is definitely needed, whether it be any dialect. You have Postgres or SQL Server or MySQL. That's pretty much fine, but it's just that you need to have some intermediate skills. Again, trendy tech is great. Ankit Bansal's videos are also great on YouTube. You also need, and then again, Tableau is of course needed. Tableau desktop, so maybe some beginner to intermediate skills on Tableau desktop as well. um, Again, you might have the technical skills, but also what separates a worthy candidate from other candidate is that they should know what what use cases they have to pursue while in their learning of Tableau, in their learning of data visualizations. Because suppose you are interested in going into the healthcare industry or finance industry, as a fresher you don't really know in which industry you're going, but it helps when you get to know what kind of KPIs you want to learn, what kind of KRAs you need to build, not just total of this, percentage of this, not just like that. You need to understand the metrics. So you practice visualization skills, and again you build the domain knowledge yourself. And again, when what I said about networking, when you have built certain projects for your practice, you get them validated by some professional, whether it makes sense or not, what kind of improvement is needed. You get that much needed feedback, which is very important. And that's pretty much how you improve. I would also say that as far as the courses are concerned, for Tableau, um, you would want to sign up for the Udemy's Tableau courses by either Maven Analytics or Kirill Eremenko. They have excellent courses there. Or if you want to go to Coursera, they have a specialization called data visualization with Tableau, which is found by the University of California, Davis. That is also pretty good.
Super. That was a very elaborate answer, Arpit. Thank you so much. Siddhanth, you have been leading teams for a really long time now. And since you also have your master's degree with you, right? I'm sure you are much more experienced than a lot of people on this call. We want to hear from you. When you're building your team, what do you look in the candidate as a team player, as a candidate who can contribute towards your team as a data team in whole, and what are your suggestions to a person like Arpit or a person like Mohit in their career trajectory as to how they can improve and land to get a job, right? Even like if they have to do a career transition like Arpit has done recently, what would you suggest them to do differently than the rest?
Right. So first, yeah, SQL, Excel is mandatory. Like all three of us are saying the same thing, and everyone will say the same thing. Any interview you attend, anywhere you go, the hiring manager might not know SQL, so the questions will come directly from Google. Or then there are hiring managers that are well versed with SQL, and they will ask you conditional questions, situational questions, and that usually comes from the big companies, right? So SQL, definitely keep practicing, keep looking at questions. Every time I type in SQL interview questions, a new question pops up that is weirder. Every day it gets weirder and weirder, right? People are walking, what's the distance? How do you calculate it? I don't know how to do that. I'm like, why are you even asking that? So SQL, definitely you need to know. If you are looking into data science, well, this is not enough, but data science is something that you can learn in the organization based on the data you're working with. So I would say first enter as a data analyst if you're starting out, and then you can start working on R, Python, or whichever tool the company has selected as their weapon of choice for data science and to tackle the analytics side of their of the various departments. So now coming to what we look for, right, as or any hiring manager looks for, is a person who provides end-to-end solution. So what you need to have is one tool for each under your belt. So as we know Excel, right? Prasanna also mentioned Excel is boring, but you need to survive. Yeah, right. So, but the reason why so many people prefer Excel, mainly leaders, is because it's easy, it's known, it's safe, right? When we bring in Tableau or any other tool, it's it has its issues and it's not that simple, right? So you need to give that, that confidence that we will handle it end to end, from the data load to the data cleaning to visualizing it and then analyzing it. So you need each tool for all of them. One, to clean the data, to load the data, right? You need to know scripting, SQL for that. Second, to clean the data, you have Tableau prep. I don't know, I think Vani and all have done a session on Tableau prep already. So Tableau prep is a good tool to clean the data. Third is visualize the data. So, you can use visualization tools. Tableau is one. And then to analyze it. Now, analyze goes to a different level where, again, data science pops in, or you can provide analysis. You've seen dashboards online, beautiful corporate dashboards online that will help you to provide analysis to leadership. Because here's the thing, Indian leadership doesn't need your millions of records and your big Excels. They hardly need 4 numbers. That's it. How do you get to those 4 numbers? So you need all of that specialty. So I would say take one tool under your belt and you're good. You're a data analyst. So yeah, and SQL, again, let me stress on it. SQL, definitely keep practicing every day.
Awesome. Yeah, Vani, do you want to take over from here?
Yeah, sure. This question is like for all of you, but mostly for Siddhanth. Like I've heard a lot of times by a lot of people that, it's important to get Tableau certified. Like I myself, I don't have a Tableau certification yet, and I've already worked like 2-3 places. And a lot of people, I guess, in the call do not have a certification yet. But I've also heard this, from a couple of clients, especially US clients, that they want people who are working on their work in their team. They specifically need people who are Tableau certified. So how important do you think it is for people, be it freshers or be it people who are already in the industry for a while now, if they're looking for a job, how important do you think, it is for them to have a certified?
I would say it's if you can, like, okay, for some people that they are not working in a company organization right now, they might need to pay for it, right? For others, like I gave the certification when I was in a company, so the company sponsored it, so it was good for me. So if you can, I would say yes, please go ahead, do it, because it does, you do have an advantage. I am not looking for it, but let's say there are 2 people, right? I'll give you an example. I asked a person a question and they give me the wrong answer, right? I will be like, okay, that's the wrong answer. But then ask the same question to a person who has a certificate and they give the wrong answer. I'll be like, yeah, maybe stressed, but I'm sure he knows the wrong answer. If I, a right answer, if I ask in the right conditions, because he gave the Tableau certification. So obviously he or she knows what the answer is. So it does give you that upper edge for your, if you have that certification. If you don't, it's fine. You can do the courses that, it's mentioned above. There's link being shared. Those are also good enough. Companies specifically don't look for it, but you have it. Let's say you are working right now in a company. I would say it's very advantageous for your promotion, for your career growth. It is very good. Do that certification and gives you that, that upper level where they can make you lead in projects. For Tableau projects, they can push you up there. So, and also, I think most companies sponsor it. So please go ahead, give the Tableau certification. I think the desktop, the first one is what, certified desktop, right? I think if you have been working in Tableau for quite some time, that certification should be easy for you. It covers various topics and you should be well versed with it by now with working a job. But, go to the e-learning courses and, refresh your memory and give the exam. So my answer would be, yeah, you definitely have an advantage if you have the certificate.
So, this brings me to my second question. Like we have a lot of freshers over here. Mohit himself is right now going to look for jobs. So, Mohit, this question is for you. Do you have like a Tableau public profile where you have uploaded a lot of visualizations, your own work there?
Yes, I have, but I have not uploaded many as of now. So there are three to four visits, but I plan to add more in the future.
Yeah. So, this brings me to Arpit. Arpit, you recently, it's not been very long for you. So when you started looking for jobs, 2 years back or something, did you yourself have like a Tableau public portfolio, or, you went in with your skills and certifications and your degrees and all that?
Yeah, interesting question. So what happened was I had already worked on some Excel analytics projects, so I had an idea about analytics, right? Um, but the thing is that I did do the certification myself, the Tableau Desktop Specialist certification. I had to pay for it myself, but it was like $100 or so, and like totally worth. So what a Tableau certification does is like it tells the hiring manager that this person is committed to this line of this line of work, and this person might not know everything about it right now, but this person is committed. This person has invested time and money on learning something new. But again, the Tableau public, so I think I had some dashboards on Tableau public already, at the time, and I was actively working on different kind of datas, cleaning them up, visualizing in them in different ways. So I like to think that it was both of the factors that helped me, but more so the Tableau public project portfolio was very important, because my hiring manager definitely said that, that's very interesting that you have a project. So and again, when like looking at resumes, again, it's very important to see it instantly catches the eye if the person has a Tableau public, because you can just, instead of just guessing how will this person be, does this person just only know the theoretical stuff, or does this person also know how to actually do that stuff. Instead of wondering, you can just go to that person's Tableau profile, and you can just gauge the person's skill level on the basis of that. So I would say, yeah, Tableau public is very, very important.
So, let's just for you both, Siddhanth and Arpit, like when someone comes to you with a resume, right? When the resumes comes to you, and you see a lot of certifications over there. You see Tableau certification, you see SQL certification, Excel certifications, and whatever tools and things we have talked about. But you also see, a Tableau public portfolio, like a link over there, which you open up and you see like a lot of visualization, maybe 10, 15 visits, which I like good. You have business visits over there, you have some informative, beautiful viz over there. So which one do you think grabs your attention more? Which one do you think speaks more about the candidate? Whether it's a list of certification on different tools which you really require in the candidate, or actual links, maybe GitHub pages, with a lot of SQL codes and actual Excel analytics, entire PPT or a project with Excel work and Tableau public portfolio. Which one do you think you guys would prefer more, and why? How does that help a candidate?
Sure. So I think I can go first. So definitely the project portfolio is very important, because sometimes what happens is a person gives a certification, has studied at that point of time, but then there's a lot of time gap between gaining the certification and applying for that particular job. So the person might not remember all of the stuff. So that's where the project portfolio, a GitHub or a Tableau public or Medium articles, which is the proof of skill, basically, that is extremely important. That's what we are looking for. But like majority of the candidates don't have that. They might have some candidates might be having some certifications. Majority of candidates do not have a project portfolio. So if you have a project portfolio, that instantly puts you at advantage over the others. And because it's a real-time skill, proof of skill.
Exactly.
I do agree with Arpit. It does give that upper hand for someone hiring who hasn't seen that kind of work, right? Public work. They are impressed. They are immediately impressed. They're like, we're going to skip the Tableau interview and let's go into the other rounds of interview, because clearly you know what you're doing, right? But you should also be prepared for some professional people who are not impressed with your profile. They're like, yeah, okay, these are all fancy dashboards. They are fun to make, but when you enter the corporate world, the data is not so clean. So my one recommendation would be the real world fake data by Mark. Do that. I love those dashboards. That is literally what we create in the company. Let me say this: when you enter a company, if a company is already paying for Tableau, right? They have a whole installment of Tableau. They have Tableau admins. They have Tableau developers. So most of the time, you're not going to go in there and create a dashboard. Most of the time, you're going to maintain a dashboard already created by somebody. That's the job, right? So, and the dashboards are just numbers, bar charts, graphs. There is not going to be a Sankey funnel chart or something. It's not legit, right? So you need to be prepared to answer questions like, how does this help the business? That's what you need to be able to answer to your interviewer. Like, how do you calculate? What are your KPIs? Year over year, your growth, your percentage, this thing. KPI is what I will use. So these are mostly the questions I would ask, and I've seen people ask who are well versed with Tableau and not impressed with Tableau Public. For others who are not, well versed with Tableau Public, mind blown. Like, I've shared my link and they're like, oh my God, right? You have 80 dashboards and these are so beautiful. And then there are some managers who are like, man, that's okay. Wow, you use 5 colors. That's awesome. So you need to be prepared for all of those.
So like, do you have like any suggestion for, like having a Tableau public portfolio obviously is nice. We've all agreed on that. But, when I started out, like someone suggested me to have, it should actually be a portfolio, it should have like different kind of things. Like some people, they really, really focus on design and infographics. Like they only make difficult charts and they like make it look amazing. They make it look beautiful, which mostly business people, especially who has been in the business for a long time, they just don't understand and they don't care about, right? I've seen
Yeah.
this myself as well. A lot of you must have seen. So would
You're talking
you,
about me, Vani. It's pretty much me. I first decide the chart and then I make the data, right? So because I wanted to make something fancy. So
Pretty as charged.
yeah, first I'm going to make this chart. Now I'm going to look for data.
yeah, exactly. So a lot of time we focus on this. So do you guys, suggest to have like a varied portfolio? Varied portfolio, and you have maybe business dashboards that do on different domains like finance, HR. That's the time when RWFT can come into the picture. Use it, guys, seriously. And then, have some charts which completely relies on technicalities, making Sankey and stuff which uses hardcore calculations, and then having something beautiful as well to show you are good at design. Does that really help when you make a portfolio?
Absolutely. Yeah. A mixed profile is very good. It shows, what experienced hiring managers is looking at when you show so many dashboards is the amount of cleaning you've done in the backend. So you're good at calculated fields. You will quickly write a sum, a difference. How did you clean the date fields? I think you spent weeks on fixing dates. Like when you work in an organization, a big organization, you will be spending months fixing just dates. You won't even read the chart before fixing the dates. So creating these dashboards, right? Vani, different dashboards from different portfolio, different organizations. It just shows the hiring manager that you are good at data cleaning. So yeah, definitely helpful.
Yeah, exactly. So like coming to the next question, like we have discussed how having a portfolio and having a certification puts you, above other candidates who do not have the same things when they're looking for a job. Apart from all this, to all of you, what are the kind of technical questions, which you kind of look for when you hire someone? Apart from these, do you look into Tableau server as well? What are the parts of Tableau and major heads that you look for when you when you take interviews?
Arpit, you want to go?
Yeah, no, go ahead, Siddhanth. That's fine.
Sure. So it depends what level you're looking for, right? If you're looking for entry level, it's basically just Google questions, what kind of filters there are, what is an extract or a live data, basically functionalities of Tableau. If you're looking for someone at a senior level, the questions will be around how did you use Tableau to solve a problem? That will be the question, because we have already established that you know Tableau. You have a certification, you have a public profile. Now what you're asking is, Tableau is not just to make charts. Our leadership doesn't wake up early in the morning and log in to look at your beautiful charts. They are there to look at numbers, to solve their problem, right? So how have you used Tableau to solve problems? So you should be prepared. I would say have a couple of scenarios, jotted down if this question comes. If you've never worked in corporate and you're a fresher, I would say, these are some of the problems and this is the way I would solve it. And if you have worked in a company, I would say, think about the difficult scenarios you've gone through, with Tableau admins, publishing the dashboard, heavy data, unclean data, data hygiene, and make a story, I would say. And that's what people look for. Like, can you tell a story using the tool that we're providing you? I wouldn't say it's always Tableau. It's going to be, it can be anything, but what they will look for is, can you tell a story? Do you have that, that thought process of not just making a bar chart and throwing it at us? Because trust me, in every org, there's so many dashboards with bar charts and line charts, and they don't say anything, right? And that's why the leadership is like, why are we wasting so much money on something that can be done on Excel? So this is why we still have Excel. They don't understand what is the thing you achieve using Tableau that cannot be done in Excel, and why are we paying so much more money for that? So I would say prepare for that, basic questions. And one more thing before any interview, just brush up on the names and your basic things. I myself have blanked out on a question. What are the different types of filters in Tableau? I know the filters. I know what they are. I know where they are. I just didn't know their names, like extract filter, data filter. I didn't know that. So I just blanked out, and that person thought, he doesn't know anything. But then again, I showed my public profile, and he's like, okay, you're good. So yeah, I would say be prepared for interviews like that. Your brain just goes blank at that point.
And also, I think a lot of times, sorry, Arpit, like
Yeah,
a lot of times working on certain tools, we just know that this is over here, your hand automatically goes to places, but you just don't know the technical term which the entire world is using, but you know what it is.
Yes. Yeah, I've told them, like, give me the Tableau dashboard, I'll show it. They're like, yeah, that's not how this interview works. Okay.
Just to add what Siddhanth is saying, so I think when I started 6 years back, so somebody was asked, what is a blue pill and green pill? So I don't know, like I know discrete and continuous. So later I searched, okay, I came to know that, okay, discrete is and continuous is also, they can call it as blue pill and green pill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you in
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt you in between. Like for all the participants here, at the end of the discussion, we'll ask one question, and whosoever answers first will get a surprise at their home delivered. So look out for that as well. Sorry to interrupt the flow.
No problem. I just really identified with that blue pill and green pill thing, because it was after 1 year that I started Tableau. I actually realized that pill is that medicinal pill, and that's why they call it that. I didn't know why they call it the pill. So I definitely identify with that. And again, I agree with that naming thing. It's we don't always remember the name of the filters, but if you want to know about the order of operations, that's very much required. I would also add, typically for 2 to 5 years experience, we're not really looking for technical Tableau server knowledge. I mean, a little bit of exposure is okay, but probably freshers will not work on Tableau server, and that's okay. That's why certifications such as the Tableau desktop specialist, they actually cover the Tableau server part in a little bit of detail, very high level, not too complex. But again, when we are looking for certain skills, right? So if the participant doesn't know how to make a dendrogram or a waffle chart or a Sankey chart or a jitterbug chart, that's fine. That's not much of a problem. But as far as the technical skills are concerned, the candidate should be having a great command over the LODs, and not just fixed, because fixed is the most common. Not just fixed, like the candidate needs to understand the difference between include and exclude as well. What are the different kinds of charts? What is the applicability of the charts? And again, by charts, I don't just mean going to the show me menu and just selecting a chart. No, candidates should be able to build the chart by themselves by not utilizing that. Then the difference, then blending, the joins, relationships, union, what are these concepts and how do they work in real time? Like what are the different kind of file extensions? Then some practical questions such as null handling or set actions, things like these. The person should be fluent in expert in all of these. Well, not expert, but at least have a good command over all of these. And again, this comes when you build real-time projects and real-time visualizations. This comes naturally then.
Also, just to add to what Arpit and Siddhanth said, I think Tableau Desktop is free and it's really good for people looking to develop their skills. Tableau e-learning is also free if you upload your student ID for a year. And to keep that touch going on, keep that flow going on, I think there are certain community projects, just like everyone mentioned, Makeover Monday, then there's SDG project. So you can get all those projects in the Tableau community website, and they can help you keep your practice up to date.
Nice, Mohit. And to add on the Tableau server part, like Arpit said, it's not necessary as a Tableau developer, but it's good to know because you make these dashboards in the community and it's all fun and all, but honestly, when you go start a job in the company, it's very disappointing. It's like you're not doing that fun part. You're just sitting there working with admins and creating folders on where to publish dashboards and basically giving permission on who accesses what and row level security. So half the time you're working with Tableau admin. So it's better to know the language they speak in so that you can work fluently with them. So it's very important because security is very is important in organizations on who sees what data at departmental level. So it's very important to know all this and to understand very quickly when you join a new organization on how they are how the blueprint is set up for that company by Tableau or the heads of the company. So you have to work with Tableau admins on a day-to-day basis, and it's I would say brush up on Tableau server skills a bit.
Good. We are almost 15 minutes left in the meeting. So I would want to wrap this up entire thing with one last question, which is for all three of you. We want to know from you 2 do's and 2 don'ts for any candidate who's applying for a data role, data visualization, or even a data science or an analyst role as well. 2 do's and 2 don'ts, and we'll go to a question and answer round towards the end of the meeting. We'll start with Mohit. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. So coming to 2 do's, I would say the few things that I keep in mind is preparing my niche, what I am good at, so that I can mention those specific things confidently. And one thing we all underrate is that we try to speak fast so that the interviewer gets the sense that we know everything. But I think it's okay to take our time to answer the questions. And don'ts, I would say one thing that I actually do a lot of times is I don't keep the cover letter same when I apply for a job. So I customize it and I include why I'm excited to work in that organization. And one more thing that I keep in mind is that I don't mention some ultra advanced level things, so that if the interviewer is smart enough and they catch me off guard. So yeah, so I don't mention things that I'm not completely confident. So concept clarity is really important. And I would say, yeah, these are the 2-3 do's and don'ts that I keep in mind before applying for a job.
So you basically drive the interview with the questions that you're confident on, right?
Yeah, so I think it's a really nice tactics to speak on things so that the interviewer asks 2-3 questions from the things that you are saying. So if you mention only those things which you are confident about, so then it would be good for you.
Okay, let's move to Siddhanth. What are your 2 do's and 2 don'ts?
Don't, I would say, if a profile says Tableau developer needed, don't just go with Tableau. It never works out that way. I've gone multiple times. I'm like so confident, most of the time overconfident. I have my certification. I have my Tableau public profile. I go in there and they're asking me questions about something else. No company is going to pay you only for Tableau. No one is going to do that, right? It's just not feasible. So I would say prepare on, like I said at the start, you should be a complete package. You should be an end-to-end solution, right? You should start with data cleaning. You should start from Excel to a automated delivery system for your leaders. So have a tool prepared. SQL has already been said. Excel you should be good at. Tableau you can be. So you have all the 3 over there. So that is one thing. Don't just assume any company wants your Tableau skills. No, not happening. Nobody can pay for it. do, I would say, like I said before, what most people are looking for are, I don't know if you've noticed after COVID, the interviews have changed. We don't ask questions from Google. We ask more in-depth questions like, hey, what do you expect from a company? How do you solve a problem? How would you provide this solution? We are opening a new store. What would you recommend on the marketing side? So have examples ready that you can show in. Look at financial dashboards. Again, the real world fake data, just put that hashtag on Twitter. There's multiple dashboards over there. I think Mark has a blog also that has published some good dashboards that he selected. Those dashboards explain KPIs, what is important for leaders. So brush up on that for each industry. So there's multiple, I think there's hospital, there's call center, there's IT, there's multiple industry dashboards. So brush up on this KPIs, as in what is important, what a leader looks in a dashboard. Other than that, yeah, it's all your skill then. Just Google the questions, Tableau questions before you go. Like we discussed, know the names, know what is there. And that's about it.
Thank you, Siddhanth. Let's ask Arpit the same question. What are your two do's and don'ts?
Sure, thanks. Excellent advices by Mohit and Siddhanth. I completely agree with those. And also I would add, keep the feedback when you're practicing, keep the feedback process open. So it's not like you are learning some new skill from Udemy and you are making it into a dashboard. Share it with the community so that the community can give you feedback. So in office environments, you have a team lead or a manager who will give you feedback on your on your work. But as long as you're not in the company, there's no way to do that. But the community will do that to you, and that's what Data Fam is all about. So if you're participating in challenges such as the Maven Analytics Challenge or the Data DNA challenges, D Challenger, you're building something. The community will provide feedback to you. Look at how other people have built dashboards on the same chart so that you can get to know what things you need to build on or what things you did better so that you can have some awareness. So this feedback process should be open. Second, I would say that when you go for an interview and the interview will ask the question, do you have any questions for me? The interviewer will ask that. Don't just say no, or what's my salary going to be like, nothing like that. You have to show that you are interested in the company's problems. So you can kind of ask like, what kind of problems does your company face, and how are you looking at me to resolve those kind of problems. This will show that you are interested about solving their problems. So those are the two do's. And don't, I would say, don't ignore SQL, because companies, data analyst roles in companies are moving full stack. It's not just a Tableau developer role. So you have to work on the front end as well as the back end, and for the operations part as well. So don't ignore SQL or Excel, because the Excel is the first line of analysis. Before you actually start working on the data, you will work with Excel just to analyze it. And the second I would say is kind of don't learn in silos. Share your learnings with everybody. Learn from your friends or any other professionals you might have seen working. Learn from them. That's all.
Thank you, guys. All three of you had such valid points. I think I cannot agree more on all of the points that you have mentioned here. Yeah, we are almost towards the last 5-10 minutes of this call. So I'd just like to take some questions from the chat if that can help the audience get more understanding about this. There is a question from Michael. He is asking, how important is it to know Python as a data analyst? And there's also, I think Mohit, you've already answered it. So do you want to elaborate a little bit more over here? I think.
Yeah, I think knowing Python really expands your reach and expand your skill set as such. So I think hiring managers would prefer someone who knows Python over someone who knows Excel, SQL, and Tableau. So Excel and SQL, like everyone said, are your base. Tableau is a database tool, but if you know Python, so you have a really good chance to catch the attention of the hiring manager.
Yeah, I see also, Prasan, you have replied to the question. Do you want to add anything else apart from what you've replied?
No, Ansula. I think that's the one point I wanted to make, because Python is an open source language. Like it won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere in the future. So like if you get proficient with handling the data with Python libraries, that will be a great added skill. And if you can build a whole data pipeline, like you can even aim for data engineer roles in bigger companies like Airbnb and all those product companies. So that is always an added advantage.
Sure, I'll just take one more question, which is from Zabi. She's asking if a lot of companies in the interviews are asking about Tableau server related questions and where she could prepare those questions from. Arpit, do you want to see if you can answer this?
Yeah, Atula, sure. So for Tableau server, I would recommend that you read up the documentation on Tableau's website. Because I think I believe there is a trial version also available. I'll have to check for how many days for hands-on. So if you can get that trial version, go for it. Otherwise, read the uh, documentation. There are also many videos on YouTube which will explain how you deploy a TWBX file into Tableau. How to switch it to another server, how to switch to another site, how to update the videos, how to share how to update the dashboard. Sorry, how to share the dashboard with various stakeholders. What kind of memory is needed on the server machine. So all of these details you can find on YouTube as well as the documentation. So that is where you can get the best of information for Tableau server.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there is one more last question about Power BI.
Can I add on the Tableau server part?
Yeah,
So there is a free, as Arpit just mentioned, that there's a free 14 days trial. Apart from that, people can also register for Tableau developer program. Through that, they'll get a 1-year Tableau cloud license. So they can Tableau cloud is almost similar. All we know that it's almost similar to what we have as Tableau server. So they can use that particular site and then see how it goes because it's almost similar. So I'll just push that link over there as well. So people can apply for that Tableau developer program and you will get an access for 1 year for Tableau cloud.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Also, you could use Tableau Public, that's free as well. Apart from shapes and stuff, you can still build basic visualization. And as Mohit mentioned in the initial conversation, if you are a student and you have a student ID, you can have 1 year free Tableau license, Tableau desktop license, as well as access to the e-learning courses. Yeah, so we towards the end of the mark, I'll hand it over back to Vani to wrap up. And Prasan, we are excited to for the question that you have for people to win something.
Yeah, actually, I'm seeing the question twice now. I think Power BI versus Tableau.
Yeah.
I would say both. You're not applying jobs for Tableau. You're applying jobs to a company that might select any tool. No, I don't think there's a company that has both. They select a tool and they deploy it across the organization. So would you like to get a job in Microsoft? Yeah, Power BI. They are not going to use Tableau. So you need to know both, right? So both are good. There's also articles online on how to convert a Tableau script calculated fields to Power BI and how to convert Power BI to Tableau. And I think it is created by Microsoft. So look into it. But yeah, both are important.
Awesome. Anybody has any last thoughts? No? Okay. Prasan, we are excited for your question then.
Yeah, before we go on for the question, just an added point of people have added so many points and there are many takeaways. And apart from that, I'll just say that network. Please do network with people who are if you're targeting for a data analyst or business intelligence analyst roles, look for people who are in the same role, who are a bit senior to them. Network with as many people as you want, because the moment you will display your portfolio over social media on Twitter or LinkedIn, these network will eventually help you out in many ways. Like it worked for many of us and it will work for you as well. So please do that as well. And coming to the question, the high time, finally, is Vani gone? Vani has the question. Vani will open the envelope and she has the question with her. Vani.
Sorry, 1 second.
You're getting people scared, Vani. Like,
Sorry, Prasan, is the question there on the slide?
no. Let me do that.
Okay.
Do hosts get to win? Press.
No, no panelist nor hosts.
Oh.
Arpit. Arpit has hand from good now.
It seems like you are asking an interview question of Tableau.
No, it's very simple question, but almost like a confusing question. Like,
So
and
simple
like,
for you or simple in general?
like it's simple for in general. Like, yes.
Okay.
Backfill.
Guys, so the question is up on the screen.
It- It's
so
extra
Oh my
filters,
God.
then
no.
filters.
I think I
Type in
forgot the names again.
Guys, you need to send the answer in the chat.
I think this is one of the most asked interview question. Like post you ask what are the different types of filters?
Yeah, I was out right there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the next one.
We have 2 answers in the chat. Are those the right answers?
Guys, that's it. I think Rohan, you were saying something, right? You can maybe send it in the chat.
Rohan sent it to, like, he sent it personally to me.
Okay.
Let me send it again. I think
Now,
Let-
what should I consider? Like, at 201, we have got 2 answers. Like,
Yeah.
one from Rohan to me, and then Zabi to everyone. Rohan, you missed it.
no worries.
Yeah, he'll come to my home and then he'll grab the thing. He doesn't need to ask.
So I think, Prasan, we have gotten our right answer.
Right, and we have a winner as well. And the winner is Zabi Sheikh. Congratulations, Zabi.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.